Welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts collection overview video. Today we are going to go over my Vinegar Syndrome collection, and hopefully I will give you guys some ideas of something that you can pick up for your collection, and hopefully you guys can point out which ones I'm missing that I need to have desperately in my collection. So this is kind of a two-way street here. I kind of have them. I have 60 titles I'm going to show you guys. Some of them are DVD, most of them are Blu-ray, and there's a wide variety of genres for the Vinegar Syndrome titles, as you guys know. I have them kind of grouped in certain genres. I guess I'm just going to kind of start pulling from piles. As you can see, I just kind of have it looks like it's a mess, but it's organized. It's an organized mess on my bed. I have a DVD pile here on the left. I have my Blaxploitation, my Sexploitation. I have some drive-in horror, some of the slipcover ones, some of the early releases. So I'm just going to kind of pull from the pile, and I think I'm going to start with the Blaxploitation films. I think I have about 5 titles here. And a lot of these I haven't seen since they've been on Blu-ray, but I have seen these many times back in VHS days. And this first one here is a twin billing, the Candy Tangerine Man and Lady Coco. Lady Coco starring Lola Falana. And the Candy Tangerine Man, it says it's a favorite film of Quentin Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson. And this is the Blu-ray debut of it. And the film is from 1974. And Lady Coco is from 1975. And they were both directed by Matt Cimber. Wow, I was way off on that one. I like these little twin billings that these companies do like this. And this one here, when you open up the reversible cover, it actually shows Lady Coco as the big cover. I'll show you guys that. That looks really cool. And then it has the little corner piece for the Candy Tangerine Man. And it's a Blu-ray DVD combo. So that is the first of the Blaxploitation. I believe the next 4 are all Mr. Dolomite, aka Rudy Ray Moore. This first one is called Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law. This is the reversed cover. I happen to like, I think I reversed all 4 covers of the Dolomite movies because they have more of like a 70s throwback vibe to them, and I like that style. I like that look. And Rudy Ray Moore, his character was, Mr. Dolomite was his most popular character, but in this particular movie he plays Petey Wheatstraw. He was kind of a hack, and he tried to impersonate Red Fox and Richard Pryor especially. And Rudy Ray Moore was pretty good in his own right, but he was kind of a B actor. And he did steal a lot of Red Fox's jokes. And a lot of these guys were all friends, so they didn't really mind that he was kind of borrowing the jokes. But he just never really had as big a career. But some of these movies were fun. And I mean, they're not great movies, but they're good drive-in Blaxploitation films. And that is Petey Wheatstraw. The next one is The Human Tornado. That is also the flipped cover. This movie came out in 1976. You do get some pretty good special features, considering it's just a Blaxploitation film from the 70s. You do get some good special features. It's also a Blu-ray DVD combo. And then there's the reversible cover. And I like how they put the different artwork on each of the discs, so you have both covers on each disc. And by the way, P.D. Wheatstraw was from 1977. And if you guys want to see the special features, pause that and check it out. These are all 2K scans of the film. This was probably his most famous and probably his best role, in my opinion. This is Dolomite with his all-girl army of kung fu killers. Film from 1975. And there are the special features. You can go ahead and pause. I'm not going to spend too much time per title because I do have a lot to show. And there you get the Blu-ray and DVD, and those are both of the covers. So, and the last one for the Blaxploitation is the Disco Godfather, film from 1979, directed by J. Robert Wagner. I didn't really care for this cover too much. I much preferred this one. So that was the little pile of the Blaxploitation. Let's kind of quickly show an overview of it. And again, if you guys see anything that I'm missing, please let me know. Comment below and recommend. I'm all ears. I love getting recommendations from you guys. I do read every comment. Let's see, we'll go through the DVDs now, and it looks like there's 6 of them. So the first one is a twin billing. These are more drive-in collection type films. Warning, this is strong stuff. They have kind of like the little rental stickers. And you get the Executioner Part 2 and Frozen Scream. And it's all region. The Executioner Part 2 is from 1984, as well as Frozen Scream. Well, down here it says it's from 84, if you can see down there. But up here it says Frozen Scream is from 1980. So, a couple of B-movie drive-in style films. They both come on one disc. Not much as far as no reversible cover, no booklet. Another twin billing is Revenge of the Virgins on the left and Teenage Zombies. I believe both of these are black and white films, both from the 50s. The Revenge of the Virgins from 59 and Teenage Zombies from 57. And these are 2K scans from 35mm original camera negatives, all region. This one was probably one of the worst movies I ever saw in my life. Oh, this was bad. Sometimes Aunt Martha does dreadful things, and you can see here this is from the American Genre Film Archive. And I know MVD Video had been recently putting some of these out on Blu-ray, and I really liked what they're doing. But this movie is just bad. It was really, really bad. But it's in the collection. It's a film from 1971. It is a 2K scan from the 35mm theatrical print. And again, it doesn't come with much on the inside. This next one I thought was pretty good. It was a pleasant surprise to me. It's called Night of the Strangler, starring Chuck Patterson, Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees fame. And this is another American Genre Film Archive film. I would like to see this get a Blu-ray release, and it probably does. I'm not sure. If it doesn't by now, I do hope it does get one. Film from 1972, 90 minutes. Again, it is a 2K scan from the 35mm theatrical print. Good little slasher from the 70s. Here's another one I thought was pretty good, a little action film. And this is called The Cutthroat. So you see at the bottom it says rated X, but it's more of a rated X like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was rated X. It was just a little shocking for its time. 1969. This would probably easily just get an R rating today. 76 minutes I have to be careful because there are some nudity screen captures here on some of these releases. Not this one in particular, but I thought this was a pretty good movie. I liked it, I enjoyed it, and this was another good one here, a twin billing of Bigfoot movies, another drive-in collection. In Search of Bigfoot, it was a kind of a documentary style film, and Cry Wilderness, I think that was a PG, or maybe even G, let me see. In Search of Bigfoot is from 75, 76 minutes. Cry Wilderness from 86. It doesn't say on the back, but I believe that this is the little screen capture from Cry Wilderness. I think it's either PG. I think it is probably PG. And I like this little twin pack. I do like Bigfoot movies quite a bit. It's one of my favorite subgenres for horror films. So that was the 6 DVDs I have in my collection for Vinegar Syndrome. This one here was a hot little ticket. It sold out pretty quick, and then it was going for crazy money. I mean, this was over $100 for a while. I haven't checked it recently, but this one was released about 3 years ago, I would say. This is a twin billing. It came out in 2014, so it's almost 5 years. This one does have nudity on the back. Both of these movies are quite sleazy. I think this was limited to 1,000. It was, you can see that it's, where were we here? It's a limited edition. I have number 451 of 1,000. It is all region. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. I have to be very careful because the image just above that number is a nude shot. So let me back out of here and let me double check on the inside. I might just move on from this one. It's just a 2-disc. You get a Blu-ray and a DVD combo. I thought I watched the Jekyll and Hyde portfolio, and it was just okay to me. It was extremely okay. It was just dull, I thought. And I still have yet to see A Clockwork Blue, so I can't really comment on that one. The next 2 that I'm going to show were 2 of the very earliest releases from Vinegar Syndrome. This is Corruption. Corruption is an adult film equivalent to Flashdance. I don't have anything against adult films. I just don't collect them, and I don't have them laying around the house. There you can see Jamie. He was a porn star. He has passed away. Jamie Gillis. This is all region. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. And the image that's on this disc here is the reversible cover, so I'm not going to pull that out. If anybody would like to make an offer or a trade for this one, I would trade Corruption. The next one is one of the very earliest releases from Vinegar Syndrome. This is Punk Vacation. I'm not sure if this is out of print yet or not. It was kind of a weird movie. A peaceful California town is shaken after the brutal murder of a diner owner by a gang of vicious punks. When the daughter of the slain man attempts to avenge her father's death, she's held hostage by the gang, resulting in an epic battle between punks and rednecks. So the movie was from 87, 93 minutes. It's all region, DVD, Blu-ray combo pack. And just kind of another meh movie to me. I have a couple of Linnea Quigley films. One is a twin billing. This is Murder Weapon and Deadly Embrace. Can never get enough of Linnea Quigley. David Ducatu. Let's see here. Looks like both films were from 1989. 165 minutes combined. All region, Blu-ray DVD combo. And here are some of the special features. You get a nice 2K scan from the 16mm negatives, and you get commentary tracks from the director and Linnea Quigley for both films. So that alone is always worth the price of admission, I think, when you get the commentary tracks. Linnea Quigley is always fun to listen to. So that was a little twin billing from the Linnea Quigley, and then here is Nightmare Sisters, another Linnea Quigley movie. This one has a few Scream Queens. It also has Michelle Bauer and Brink Stevens. And you get another 2K scan from the 35 millimeter, and you get more commentary track from the director and the lead Scream Queen, Linnea Quigley. An alternate feature-length TV version. Interviews. This one has a pretty cool image on the back, so I'll pull those discs out. That looks pretty nice. So here's a pile that really wasn't horror, or I guess it didn't really have, this is kind of like a mishmash pile here. This first one is Herschel Gordon Lewis Lost Films, and these are kind of like the Sleaze films. You get 3 films here. You get Ecstasies of Women from 1969. You get Linda and Abeline from 1969, and Black Love exposes the lovemaking habits of the contemporary black couple. Pretty cool. So you get all 3 films in 2K. And this one comes with a couple cards and a booklet. I better be careful because this might have nudity. And it doesn't, but I'd say it's about maybe close to 10 pages with some write-ups about Herschel Gordon Lewis and the movies that are in this set. And then you get some scorecards. Here's Black Love. Looks like little notes that he may have taken during the making of these movies. Here's Linda and Abeline. It almost looks like it's an actual card written in pencil, but it's a facsimile. And then here is Ecstasies of Women. So that's pretty cool that they threw these in. Little keepsakes, little mementos from the Herschel Gordon Lewis collection. Lost Films. Where was I? Here's another porno. I didn't know this was a porno when I bought it. This is called Blue Ice. I will also entertain any trades, or if you'd like to purchase this one. So let me, where did I put that other one? If anybody is interested in either of these 2 films, I would gladly trade them both or sell them both. So comment, let me know. Not that I'm a prude or anything like that, you know, I just don't really want them in my collection. The next one is called Hellbent. And it says it was directed and photographed like a surreal documentary. It's a blood-soaked document of the late 80s in Los Angeles as seen through the eyes of outcasts and derelicts. Vinegar Syndrome proudly presents this forgotten gem of independent horror, newly restored on Blu-ray and DVD for the first time, and you do get a couple special features. And it is all region. The film is from 1988, and there are both of the covers, so I don't have to pull that out. That's what the alternate cover looks like right there. Now this next one is one that I had a lot of fun with. It had a little bit of everything. There was action, there was horror elements, there was kung fu fighting. This was a good movie. It was a fun watch, and I had never heard of this movie before until Vinegar Syndrome put it out, and I picked it up and put it in, and I was very pleased. And this would definitely be a fun rewatch, and I do plan to watch this again at some point. The film is from 1982. You get a Destination Warriors Island featurette with director Ed Murphy, not the Eddie Murphy, but you get audio interview with finishing editor Jim Wynorski. You guys know what kind of movies he makes. This was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Welcome to Warriors Island, burial ground of disgraced martial arts masters. There are like zombies and all kinds of goodies in here. You get a Blu-ray DVD combo. Did I say what year this one came out? 1981. The next one is what is this, a Croatian film? A Russian film from 1992. It's a Russian action film, kind of a war military type. I believe it is in Russian language, if I'm not mistaken, because I did pop this one in. And you do get English and Russian subtitles. Let me see. Okay. It includes both the original Russian language version and the slightly extended English version. Okay, so you can watch it with English dubbing. It is all region. I know this was kind of a hot ticket too. It sold out right away. These slipcovers are really nice. Vinegar Syndrome has the best slipcovers, I think. What they call them, like double thick or something. They're really, really nice. They're very, very sturdy, and they hold on to the emery case really nice. So here's the alternate cover. And then you get the 2 discs. I wish they would, I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I really love Vinegar Syndrome. I love everything they're doing. I would just wish that they would throw a little booklet in each edition, even if it's just a couple pages. That would just be like the cherry on top to me. Here's another really good buy. This one is definitely a must own. This is a twin billing of Blood Mania and Point of Terror. I like both of these films. From 1970 and 71, all region. And it says, Vinegar Syndrome presents a lurid double dose of 70s sleaze from one of the most enigmatic leading men of the era, Peter Carpenter. You get this is a limited edition exclusive. You get a bonus DVD with the alternate TV versions of both films. And then there are the bonus features. This one comes with the little swing tray, and there's 3 discs in here. So that's really cool. I didn't realize that this was a limited edition. So I'm not sure if there was a 2-disc edition of this at some point. If maybe the 3 discs sold out and they only offered it as a 2-disc. If anybody knows, let me know. Comment below. So for this one, you get a Blu-ray and a DVD. And then here is the bonus DVD with the limited versions. And there is some background image. Really cool. I like that. That looks good. So this is a must own. If you can get the 3-disc, that would even be better. But if you can't find the 3-disc, if there is a 2-disc, grab that. Here's a little creature feature film called The Bees, kind of a trauma style film. And it is all region ABC, and it's a film from 1978. You can see one of the leading men of the B-movie lore, that is John Saxon. And it says, evil corporations have smuggled a deadly strain of South American killer bees into the U.S., and now the entire world may be on the brink of imminent destruction. As cities tumble, body counts rise, and mass hysteria ensues, scientist John Norman, played by John Saxon, thinks he might have discovered the secret strategy to stop the bees. You get a couple special features there. Has a pretty cool reversible cover. I meant to flip that one. I do like that cover better than that one. Although they're both pretty cool. See how the bees are eating away at his flesh and you can see the skull. That's pretty cool. But I do like that one a little bit better. Next one is a favorite of mine, and I know a lot of people hate this movie, but I just have I don't know what it is. I have a very close love for this movie, and this is Don't Go in the Woods. And later on, way later, they added Alone. But back in the day, when I used to rent this on VHS, it was just called Don't Go in the Woods. And it's a very low buck backwoods slasher. There's some very comical moments in here. I think a lot of it was unintentionally funny, but there was a charm to this movie, and I really enjoyed it. And this was one that I watched years ago when I was a youngster. This is all region ABC, DVD and Blu-ray combo. I would have liked to have seen a booklet for this one, some write-ups or even some stills. For the special features, you get some commentary. So the next one is called Runaway Nightmare. And I did see this one, but I'm kind of drawing a blank. It didn't really leave a lasting impression on me. This was limited to 1,000. I got number 354. And this was the 4K restoration of the film from 35mm negatives. And you didn't really get too much as far as special features. Blu-ray DVD combo. This one was kind of a weird one. It had an alternate title to it. It's called Frightmare, and what was the alternate title? The Horror Star. And it was about a guy who studied, how did they word it? He studied death while he was alive, and then he finally died, and he was able to come back from the dead. Konrad Radzoff was the biggest name in horror movies for decades until one day he died of a heart attack. Determined to celebrate his life and death, the members of a local horror film society steal his freshly buried corpse and decide to host a party in his honor at their old and lavish mansion. And it did have some pretty nice set pieces in this movie, though. It was pretty atmospheric. Unaware that Radzoff's interest in horror extended beyond the silver screen and into the black arts, his corpse is soon reanimated. Film is from 1981. It was not bad. It was a decent watch. It was pretty fun, but you can reverse the cover if you want to go by the alternate title. Blu-ray DVD combo. This is a trauma film. Frightmare. Here's another one that was, I believe, limited to 1,000. Crypt of the Living Dead, and it also had a bonus feature called House of the Living Dead. And I'm pretty sure that this was limited to 1,000, but it wasn't numbered. And let's see here, the Crypt of the Living Dead from 73 and House of the Living Dead from 74. Blu-ray DVD combo. This was kind of like a Hammer horror. I enjoyed this. It was pretty good. I liked Crypt a little bit better, but House was pretty good too. The next one is another 80s kind of a slasher film, Buddy from Slaughterhouse. Buddy has an axe to grind, a big axe. The local butcher's son, a menacing dummy, going around killing people. Has a ton of special features. Very, very good. Film is from 1987. It is all region. I'm sure many of you guys have seen this movie by now. If not, it's definitely worth a watch. It's a good, fun, drive-in style horror film. Next one is, I know a lot of guys really like this one. I didn't care too much for it. It's another trauma film called Luther the Geek, about a carny that bites heads off chickens, and then he does a lot more than that in the film. But it just, to me, I mean, I'm glad to own it. It's a okay movie, but it just wasn't, it didn't wow me, put it that way. It's all region. Film is from 1988. You do get some special features. I know there's a lot of guys that really raved about this film. There's a reversible cover. It's actually not bad for a trauma film. I think some of the earlier trauma stuff was halfway decent before it started getting really, really silly. Here's one called Nightmare Weekend, directed by Henry Sala from 1985. You get some extras. and it is all region again. I don't remember much about this film, and it may be that I have never seen it before, because I'm drawing a blank on this one. A brilliant computer scientist has just finished work on his greatest creation, a supercomputer with the ability to transform the personalities of bad and disobedient people. Yeah, it's not really refreshing my memory at all. I might have to pop this one in and check it out. There is an alternate title apparently called Nightmare Weekend. Oh, it's the same title, just a different font. And the film is from '85. I think I said that already. This one was pretty good. This is Demonoid. I enjoyed this one. There's some pretty good special effects in this film. The film is from 1980. All region again. At a dig in rural Mexico, a British industrialist accidentally unleashes an ancient evil. A severed hand possessed by a vengeful demon that attacks, kills, and takes over the hand and mind of anyone who interferes. And this was a pretty good one. This would definitely be worth a blind buy if you guys haven't seen it before. And there's the alternate title called Macabre. And I like that cover. I like the title Demonoid better, but I like that cover. So that is Demonoid from 1980. Here's another one that everybody should have in their holiday horror movie collection. This is Christmas Evil. Film from 1980 again. This is not as well known as some of the other more better known Christmas horror films, but I thought it was a fun watch. It was a decent watch. And I'm sure many of you guys have quite a Christmas or holiday horror collection. You have this in your collection already. Here's another one that I thought was really good. This is very good, from another from the 80s called Madman. It's Madman Mars. Kind of an old campfire tale about a man that if you say his name out loud, he'll kill you, or, you know, teenagers out in the woods, and they're madman with an axe chasing them, taking them out one by one. And there are the special features. And I happen to like this one quite a bit. The film is from 1981, and this one does have a reversible cover, which I happen to like quite a bit. They're both really nice. This is the original cover, and that is the kind of, I guess, the newly commissioned. I think this was a Vinegar Syndrome exclusive, because I don't remember seeing that one anywhere else. Because I know Code Red released this at one time too, and they went with the kind of the traditional cover, I guess, and then Vinegar Syndrome kind of went with this red-black shadowy cover. Okay, so the next one is Witch Trap, and this is another good one from the 80s, mid to late 80s, I believe. Linnea Quigley again, and directed by Kevin Tenney, 89. And this one has a whole bunch of special features. This was a fun watch. Here's the reversible cover. Here is a twin billing. Two Roberta Findlay films, Prime Evil and Lurkers. I have seen Prime Evil so far, and I have not seen Lurkers. If anybody has seen Lurkers and you want to comment about it down below, just please do not give spoilers. It is all region, and the films are from 1987 and 1988 respectively, and they run 173 minutes combined. And I really like these twin billings. And I still do like the Blu-ray DVD combos. I know a lot of people complain about it because obviously most people just watch the Blu-rays, but a lot of these films, in the collector's point of view, have never been released on DVD, let alone Blu-ray. So when they put out a Blu-ray DVD combo, it's like a piece of gold to a collector. But if you're just a movie fan and you like to just view the movies, I can understand why you would just like the Blu-rays, but as a collector, I like to have both. So another good one here, this is Graduation Day. This was one of the earlier releases from Vinegar Syndrome. Another high school kind of revenge killer type movie. This is a 4K transfer of the film. It looks really, really good. And this is a fun watch. Class of 81 is running out of time. And the film is from 81. You do get some special features. Blu-ray DVD combo. This was definitely worth a buy. This one is also worth a buy. This is another good one. Night Train to Terror. Another earlier release. Film is from 85, all region. You get a couple bonus features. Aboard a fast-moving train bound for hell, God and Satan decide the fates of three unfortunate mortals. There's some pretty funny music in here, too. The soundtrack is pretty good. In a silly way. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I thought this one was pretty good. This was one I had never heard of or seen before until Vinegar Syndrome put it out. And it kind of reminds me of the kind of like the early Charles Bronson films of the 70s, Massage Parlor Murders. And you can see that it screams 70s. But I happen to love this era. There's something about the 70s in these movies. The Death Wish movies, the Dirty Harry movies. These are gold. And this movie was from 1974, I believe. It is all region. It's a 2-disc. Just real quick, it says a vicious serial killer is stalking the streets of New York, murdering the Times Square's massage girls. In a variety of brutal ways, it's up to a rogue detective team to solve the case as the body count continues to rise. There's kind of a little twist in this movie. I'm not going to give it away, but I enjoyed it. You can't always trust who you think you can trust. And here again are some cards, I guess, from maybe the director. Some facsimiles of some of the notes that maybe the director was taking. I'm not sure. Skinaflix. This was all stuff that Vinegar Syndrome threw on. Here's a little booklet. I better double check to make sure, because there is quite a bit of nudity in this film. Okay, there's none in the booklet. But this is what I love, you know, these little booklets. Even if they're only 5, 6, 8 pages, they're really good, really nice. It's a nice little touch, I think, to a collector. That is the Massage Parlor Murders. Here's another little creature feature film, and it's definitely like a Gremlins or Critters ripoff. This is Hobgoblins. And I thought it was pretty fun for what it was. You can see it's definitely a little creature feature ripoff film directed by Rick Sloan from 1988, all region. So it was just on the coattails of Gremlins. It was kind of trying to cash in on that, because I think Gremlins was like around 84, 85, somewhere around in there. You do get some special features. Hobgoblins Revisited, the making of featurette. I always love to see that kind of stuff. And I think this is when they first started going to the clear cases as well, which I really like. And there you can see some of the monsters. And these are fun little movies. I mean, it's not a great movie. It's a fun watch. Here's another one. I had never heard of it or saw it before Vinegar Syndrome put it out. And it sounds like it's a great movie. The cover's awesome. Horror House on Highway 5. I mean, just look at that. It pulls you in. You want to watch the movie. And I was, I want to say I was pretty disappointed. It was not very good, but I'm going to watch this again and give it another shot. Movie's from 85. It's all region. A Blu-ray DVD combo, and there's the special features. I think if I watch it again, maybe it'll start to grow on me a little bit. There's the alternate cover. Here is a Paul Naschy film, Count Dracula's Great Love. The film is from 1973. It's one of Naschy's most significant roles. Count Dracula's Great Love is a sensitive, complex, and surprisingly subversive Dracula story featuring expert direction, effective Gothic atmosphere, and gruesome violence. So if you want to pause that and check it out, it also has an 8-page booklet. And there you get a couple of images. That is the reversible cover on the inside, so I'm not going to take that out. And I didn't check this to see if there's nudity, but there's not. So 8-page book with info about the film. Next one is called Pigs, another killer animal film, filmed by Mark Lawrence from 1973, all region. It says Lynn Webster is a mysterious and beautiful young woman with a deadly secret. After arriving in a secluded California town, she takes a job as a waitress for Zambrini, an elderly former circus performer who runs a small cafe, complete with a pen of 12 hungry pigs. Local legend has it that his pigs only eat human flesh, and that in order to satisfy their growing appetites, Zambrini has begun to murder drifters. There is the reversible cover, and wow, that is, take that in for a minute. That is a pretty clever cover. Some hidden meanings in that one. That is Pigs. Next one is kind of a, how would you describe it? I guess it's not really a horror film. It's kind of a dark comedy, death row game show. Prisoners live or die, depending on the outcome of a game show. Chuck Todan hosts the most controversial show on TV, Live or Die, where death row inmates compete against each other for the chance to beat the executioner. And it's a fun watch. It's a silly movie. And I think this reversible cover is horrible. That's one of the worst covers I've ever seen in my life. But this cover was not much better. But just because it's kind of an animated cover, I'm keeping it on there. Here's one called Death Machines. The Killers of the Future Are Ready Now. Film from 1976. Special features. It says, Madame Lou has created 3 death machines, a trio of martial arts experts who have been injected with a special serum, turning them into mindless zombies capable only of murder at Lou's command. Tasked with eliminating her enemies, the death machines go on a blood-soaked rampage, killing anyone in their path. After they massacre an entire dojo, leaving only one survivor, the death machines and Madame Lou herself become the targets of his vengeance. So the lone survivor turns the tables, and he goes after the death machines. So that is the reversible cover, and that's actually pretty cool. I like that cover. I think I do like that cover a little bit better, so I will probably flip that off camera. And by the way, I didn't mention it, but we have Miss Hannah on the left and Miss Heidi joining us today. Next one is called Psychic Killer, a whole new kind of murder. This one was pretty fun. Film from 1975. Directed by Ray Danton, starring Jim Hutton and Julie Adams. Arnold Masters is a mild-mannered man who obsesses over his mother but finds himself implicated in a murder he did not commit and is sent to an asylum. While incarcerated, a fellow patient teaches him techniques of astral projection, also known as the Kirlian effect, which is the ability to use his mind to control objects at will. when the real killer is found and Arnold is released, only to find that during his time in the asylum his mother has died. He vows vengeance against those responsible for setting him up and begins to use his powers to exact a bloody revenge. That was the original cover that came with it, and then I think this must be the original cover, and this is kind of like a updated rendering of the commissioned art, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now we're going to get into more of the slipcover editions, and I'm sorry this video is 45 minutes. I'm just going to kind of blaze through these. This is one of the better covers that you'll find from Vinegar Syndrome. It's kind of hard to pull this one out. This is a Joe Spinell film called The Undertaker. I believe this was his very last film, and during the filming, I guess story has it that he was very drunk quite a bit. He would come to the set and he was just kind of irritable and drunk. But I really like the slipcover, how they have it kind of blood soaked and kind of a coffin. There's bloody fingerprints on the back, and it's kind of hard to take it out one-handed, but I'll try to do it real quick. So I think I still have about like 10 more to show. There you can see some images from the film. Blu-ray DVD combo, you get a little booklet here. And let me know if you guys like these long videos. I know probably most of the time you don't watch them all the way through, and if you do, you probably have to watch it in parts. But let me know if you guys prefer these long videos like this, or would you rather have me do these in parts? Maybe just do like 10-minute videos in several parts. Next one is called Double Exposure. I know at one point when this was on DVD, it was released by Scorpion Releasing, and this was the original cover right here. This is a film from 1982. Michael Callan stars as Adrian Wilde, a prolific photographer whose specialty is shooting nude models for men's magazines. His life starts to unravel when he begins to experience strange and almost lifelike dreams in which he murders the very women he's been photographing. So there's the reversible cover, and I'm going to kind of speed this up a little bit. I hate to speed it up, though. I feel like you guys should see these. And the reason I do these videos isn't to, say, hey, look at all this stuff I have. I'm trying to give you guys ideas, and in turn, I want you guys to give me ideas of what I'm missing. So this movie here was really good. I really enjoyed this one. It's a good ghost story from the 80s, and it stars Trish Van Devere and called The Hearse. And there's the reversible cover. And the movie came out in 1980. Joseph Cotten was also in here for a little bit. There's the Blu-ray and DVD. This is, to me, in my opinion, this is definitely a must-own for the Vinegar Syndrome line, The Hearse. Especially if you can get it with this nice thick slipcover, and it's a fun watch. I enjoyed the movie. Here's one I haven't seen yet, but I have heard many. I heard a lot of things about Liquid Sky. It's, from what I hear, it's very, very weird, bizarre. It's kind of like, it's about drug addicts and sex addicts. Hailed by Time magazine as a 2-hour act of imagination, Liquid Sky is an underground masterpiece of avant-garde science fiction filmmaking set against the visual mastery of New York's early 80s new wave scene, and filled with arresting cinematography by Yuri Newman, along with the acclaimed original soundtrack. Vinegar Syndrome proudly presents this in 4K. Very, very bizarre from what I hear. And to be honest, I don't think that this is really my cup of tea. I'm not sure that this will stay in my collection. Next one is another slasher. This one's called Disconnected. It's a film from 1984. I don't know why that slipcover is coming out. It was all Ripley. Let's see if I can pull that up. There we go. Alicia has been receiving strange phone calls in which loud and ghastly sounds echo through the receiver. Her relationship with her boyfriend, Mike, has hit a dead end, and Alicia fears that he's having an affair with her twin sister, Barbara Ann. And all the while, a psychotic slasher is murdering young women with the police powerless to stop him. But then Alicia meets kind and nerdy Franklin. Will he be the man she's been searching for, or will his own dark secrets destroy their newfound happiness? Disconnected. And the next one was pretty good, I thought. This is called Blood Beat. I know some people were kind of griping about this one on YouTube. They said it wasn't that good, but I enjoyed it. It's from 1982. Sarah and her boyfriend Ted have decided to spend Christmas with Ted's mother at her home in rural Wisconsin. Hey, Wisconsin's in the house. However, upon arriving, Sarah begins to feel a strange presence around her, and soon after, a mysterious figure garbed in a samurai outfit begins murdering the townsfolk. How awesome is that? Unless you're the one being murdered, then it's not so awesome. But and no, it's not awesome. People being murdered is not awesome. Eventually setting his sights on Sarah, Ted, and his family, a supernatural slasher like no other. Art house movie. I didn't even realize this one took place in Wisconsin. That's where I'm coming to you live from right now. Great state of Wisconsin. Where it's been muggy, hot, and if you don't have air conditioning in Wisconsin this time of year, you're just miserable. Thank God I have air conditioning. Here is, why do I have all this fuzz on my fingers? Here is another trauma film, Deadly Daphne's Revenge. This is I believe this is the first time it's ever been on Blu-ray. I do have it on DVD in a Trauma 10 box set. I like this reversible cover, looks really cool. And this is the alternate title called The Hunting Season. My voice is starting to get a little scratchy because I don't have anything to drink right now. Film is from 1981. It is all region. Looks like we have 7 left and then actually 8 left. So we are going to go over the 1 hour mark on this one. The next one I think is probably the best release or one of the top 5 releases that Vinegar Syndrome put out. This is Demon Wind, because not only was the slipcover awesome, the best slipcover they put out, but I thought the movie was pretty dang good. This was a good watch. I had a good time with this one. And this is a film from 1984. There was some creepy moments in here, and there was some really good special effects and makeup in this movie. That's Demon Wind. Next one is one I have yet to see. It's called Terror. You are about to experience terror. There is no escape. I like that reversible cover right there, so I switched that out. I like the way that looks. And it looks like it's a great movie. I just haven't had the time to check it out. It's a movie from 1978. And look at that reversible cover. Looks cool, too. If anybody has seen this one, comment down below with no spoilers, please. That is Terror. Here's another one I have yet to see. This is Blue Vengeance. I think that reversible cover looks really cool. And if I remember, I think the other cover looked... Okay, it's the same cover that's on the slip, so I'm not going to pull that out. It's a film from 1989. It says, convicted murderer Mark Trex has just escaped from an asylum and is headed for New York City to track down the members of his favorite childhood band, Warriors of the Inferno, believing that their occult hit song, which told of Satan and death, is true. Trex is determined to see if the band members have held up their part of their pact with evil. However, cop on the edge Mickey McCardle is hot on his trail and determined to end the serial killer's spree. Again, if anybody has seen this one, comment below. Another Trauma. This is called Blood Hook. I think this is the most recent Vinegar Syndrome title that I picked up. There's a reversible cover. The film is from 1986. It is all region. 17 years ago, Peter's grandfather went missing under mysterious circumstances. Now, Peter and his friends have returned to the placid Wisconsin town. Hey, Wisconsin's in the house! To check out his inherited lake house and to partake in the annual Muskie Madness fishing competition. Soon after his arrival, Peter begins to sense that something isn't quite right, and none of his friends nor the local sheriff will believe him. But as townfolk and tourists begin to disappear, Peter becomes determined to solve the mystery, as well as that of his grandfather's disappearance, and soon finds himself facing off against the fishhook-wielding madman. And there's the covers. There's a lot of Wisconsin ties tonight. The next one is called Psycho Cop Returns, badge number 666. I think this is a really cool cover. And I think this might have been the first cover where they started doing the double thick slipcover. It's also called Psycho Cop 2. And this is clearly a ripoff of Maniac Cop. And it's not as good as Maniac Cop, though it was fun. It had some good moments to it. The film from 1992. Officer Joe Vickers is the meanest and deadliest cop in L.A., leaving behind a never-ending stream of bloodied bodies in the name of justice. All right, come on. Don't fight with me here. We were doing so good. Is it because I said that you were ripping off Maniac Cop? Okay, there we go. Here's another one of their best releases. This is Jack Frost. That lenticular is just precious. That's beautiful. I love it. Vinegar Syndrome is awesome. So I'm pretty sure this one's sold out. Those slipcovers don't last very long. This is a film from 1996. It's all region. There you can see the special features. On his way to be executed, the vehicle containing notorious serial killer Jack Frost collides with a hazardous chemical truck, turning Jack into a snow-covered mutant and unleashing him on the unsuspecting town of Wisconsin. No, I'm kidding. It's not Wisconsin. Snowmonton, the snowman capital of the Midwest, though Wisconsin is in the Midwest, so there we go. And the last slipcover edition is Ice Cream Man, starring Clint Howard. I always had fun with this one. Movie's from 1994. That was a great scene. It's a fun movie, all region. Gregory, played by Clint Howard, is the local ice cream man. He wants the people to be nice to him and to sell the neighborhood children his ice cream treats. Unfortunately, the adults disrespect him and the kids fear him, so as any reluctantly released mental patient would do, Gregory begins brutally murdering anyone who prevents him from having a happy day. One of the quintessential cult horror films of the mid-90s. And there you got some special features. Directed by Norman Epstein. There you got the 2 discs. It's all good. And I think that is a must-own. And I got one more thing to show you guys. And then I'm going to go pop a movie on and chill. It's already, I think it's about 11 o'clock at night right now. But this was a Vinegar Syndrome catalog of film DVD that they had in spring of 17, which I thought was a great idea. And they were selling it rather cheap. And basically it's just kind of like a compilation of all the titles that they were selling. And it's a 3-disc set. And it just basically shows the trailers of the films that they sell on their site. And that's brilliant. And I happen to love compilation trailers, trailer sets and stuff like that. And not only that, though, it came with this beautiful catalog, this book. It's pretty thick and there's definitely nudity in here, so I'm not going to go through it. I just wanted to kind of show you guys that they put together this beautiful set. And I'm not sure if they did one yet here in 18. I'll have to double check their website. I hope they do, though, and I hope they continue to do that because I think that's a great idea. So let me know what you guys think of my collection. Let me know if I gave you any good ideas for your collection, and let me know which ones I'm missing. So as we approach the 1 hour mark, I want to thank you. If you're still watching, big thumbs up to you. I like doing these videos for you guys, and I like to interact. So if you have any comments, you want to say something, go ahead and comment below. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Give it a thumbs down if you hated the video. If it's too long, hey, thumb it down. Go ahead. Share it. Sub if you haven't subbed, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Take care. Later.